Uh, are you ready for this jam right now? We got Double D on the beats. We got Big Whompy in the hizzy. 2008 EP of the Monday Club, mother.
Okay, I'm just gonna go right into this and I'm gonna start answering questions now. Sammy, about an interesting dream we had. And I actually had a really strange dream last night. I was kind of worried about doing this challenge because I haven't had very weird dreams lately, or I haven't been able to remember them. But last night I had a dream about pirates, Tina Fey, and it was kind of a musical. So that wasn't very interesting, so I'm going to tell you about another dream I had, which was actually a long time ago. It was a few years ago, and I'm really happy that I still remember it. This one is about Harry Potter, and the Harry Potter dream actually comes in two parts. The first part was, it was only Harry and Hermione. I don't know where the heck Ron was, but it was only Harry and Hermione. The first part was they were at some school. It wasn't Hogwarts, it was some like Muggle school. And they were running from Voldemort, Harry and Hermione were. And Voldemort was flying. He was in this hang glider and he was flying, and they couldn't let Voldemort see them. And they were trying to get all these muggles into the gymnasium so that Voldemort couldn't see them either. It was really weird. And then it flashed to a completely different scene. Same people, completely different scene. But Harry and Hermione were in this river and they were floating on this kind of like platoon boat thing. And they were confronting Voldemort this time. And they had to meet him to battle with him on this bank on the shore or something, I don't know. So in the next scene, Harry and Hermione were fighting with Voldemort, but they weren't alone. They were fighting with Voldemort and the Death Eaters, but they were fighting with the US Army. But the US Army had these tank things, and if you're a Star Wars fan, then this will make sense to you. If you remember in episode 3, in the Battle of Kashyyyk, I think they're called Alliance tank droids, and they're kind of a triangular shape, but they have like the tank wheels on all sides of it and with the guns. And anyway, the US Army had those and it was pretty cool. Keely, you asked about phobias, and thank you for providing that list of phobias because that was really helpful, and I found some really entertaining ones, but I wrote down mine. I am actually aeroacrophobia, fear of open places. I'm not really afraid of it, but I don't know. I just liked enclosed spaces more. Like, maybe that's why I read Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone in my closet under the stairs the whole time, because it was closed and it was comfortable. I don't really know. And also aviophobia. It's the fear of flying. I hate flying. I really hate flying. And whenever I have to fly home, it sucks. I looked up some phobias that I thought that were pretty funny. Ablutophobia, fear of washing or bathing. Anglophobia, this one was funny, fear of England or English culture. And Sammy, you'll like this because I think you and me are both Anglophiles, which means that we are an admirer of England and all things English. Another phobia, arachibutyrophobia. I think I'm butchering that, but it's basically the fear of peanut butter sticking to the roof of your mouth. Cathysophobia, fear of sitting. Chronometrophobia is the fear of clocks, kind of like Captain Hook. Speaking of Captain Hook, I got this awesome coloring book at the dollar store. It's Villains, Disney Villains, and so far I've only been coloring Peter Pan because I really like Peter Pan. There's one, and there's another one. There's some. I think these two are my favorite. I really like this one. It just makes me laugh because the alligator looks kind of like he's laughing. Anyway, Kelsey, I didn't really get a chance to get a Mad Lib, so I decided I would try and name your Mac. What about Charlie? I don't know, it'd be like Chelsea and Charlie. I don't know. I thought it was cute. Anyway, sorry. That kind of sucks. Okay, you know what? I've looked through my entire library on iTunes and I can't find a song that would fit with this that I wouldn't be too embarrassed to film myself singing and then put on YouTube. So I'm just gonna sing this one. Hogwarts, Hogwarts, Hoggy Walty Hogwarts, teach us something please. Whether we be old and bald or young with scabby knees, our heads could do with filling with some interesting stuff. For now they're barren, full of their dead flies and bits of fluff. So teach us things worth knowing, bring back what we have forgot. Just do your best, we'll do the rest, and learn until our brains all rot. I'm sorry, that was horrible. Sorry. That was a good challenge. I can't wait to see yours, Jessie, and all of you girls, I can't wait to see yours. Chapters 10 through 14 this week. Okay, Halloween. This chapter is really cool because it's kind of introducing you to the game of Quidditch. Wood is like explaining it. This is also where Harry gets his broom, and he gets it at the table in the Great Hall. And if I was him, I definitely wouldn't be able to wait to open it. He waited like through a few classes to open it, and I think that's insane. I like the fact that Harry's like really, really naturally good at Quidditch. I think that's really cool. And then of course the troll. That was neat. That's like one of my favorite scenes in the movie, I think, actually, is the troll scene. I think it's really cool. Chapter 11, Quidditch. Everything which speaks for itself. And that's a really, really exciting chapter before, and you get to see the game. You get to see the game of Quidditch for the first time. The Mirror of Erised, this is during Christmas, and you know, everyone loves Christmas, including Hogwarts students. So it was just super fun to read about it. It's really scary to read the library scene, and it's kind of like creepy. How he finds the Mirror of Erised, and the initial shock on his face whenever he thinks that he's in a room of invisible people, and how he almost screams out. That is really kind of creepy if you think about it. Chapter 13, Nicholas Flamel. This is the second match of the book, and Snape's refereeing, and he catches the snitch really fast, and then he flies in the Forbidden Forest, and he's kind of waiting, kind of hanging out in a tree while he's spying on Snape and Quirrell. Norbert the Norwegian Ridgeback. Hagrid kind of annoys me because he gets them into trouble and he makes them do all this stuff. Norbert was kind of cute in the movie though. Question time. If you could live in any other country, what would it be? Bet you can't guess mine. Wrong. Unless you guessed England, in which you would be correct. Yes, I think I would have to choose somewhere in Britain land. I really like England. I've been there twice now, and it's gorgeous and it's amazing, and I must say I think I like the countryside a little bit better than I like the city, and the city's awesome, don't get me wrong. I really liked all the places we went. Maybe I'll show you some pictures. Probably not, because I'm not on my computer. That's for next week. Keeley, I told you I'd talk about Watchmen, and I will. I'm actually reading Watchmen right now. I'm not very far. I'm only on chapter 4 right now. I really like it. It's really cool, and I can't wait to see the movie. Here's some things it says about it. A work of ruthless psychological realism. It's a landmark in the graphic novel medium. Says one of Time magazine's 100 best English language novels since 1923. Watchmen is peerless, says Rolling Stone. Remarkable, the would-be heroes of Watchmen have staggeringly complex psychological profiles, says New York Times Book Review. I like me some staggeringly complex psychological profiles. This guy looks like he has a staggeringly psychological profile of his own.